Hello, my name is Laragh and this is Jelly. I am on the transition training program here in Lente. It's a 3-year course and now I am in my final year. Today I am going to be talking through what is called pressure and release, which is the way we would lead horses here. So it'll be very different to where you'd see leading in other stables. What I am going to be doing first is getting Jelly under my stimulus control by moving him back and then moving him forward. And I'm going to keep doing that until he is listening. And when I know that he is ready and that he will be listening to me and that he's not focused on anything else, he's just focused on what I'm doing with him. So he did that very nicely there, and now his ears are forward, but he's listening to me as well at the same time, which is exactly what I wanted. So pressure and release is basically what it is when you get the horse to, when we get the horse to walk forward, we put on a little bit of light pressure, but the minute you take the pressure off, you have to take the pressure off immediately after, which is the release, because that would act as an award. Because if I take my hand away and go to rub him at the withers, which would be another award, he might not focus and he might not listen to me anymore. So it's very important that you keep that very consistent with the pressure and release, because, you know, if I don't continue the same thing over and over again, he won't learn anything. He'll just go back to old ways. The most important thing with pressure and release is that when you're leading, when you're not giving an aid, is that you keep the contact but you're not actually putting pressure on, because then Jelly will think that I'm asking him to do something and I'm not giving a reward, which would confuse him. So I need to be very light with my contact, but I can't be giving pressure without a release. See, it's all very consistent, and you have to be very specific with a horse, because they're very, you know, they only learn one thing at a time. So if you're doing lots of different things at once, it will just, they won't know what to do, and we don't want that. And as you can see here, I'm keeping my hands underneath his neck, because when a horse is walking, their body, their neck is meant to be all in one line, and it needs to be level-headed, because if his neck was, thank you, Joe, if his neck was out sideways, that wouldn't be the natural movement of the horse. And if his neck is up too high, then, you know, his neck will be too far back, and then that will be putting strain on his back, which we do not want. So it's very important that he's just nice and relaxed. He's listening to me, he's just looking around, but if you look very closely, you can see that his bottom lip is kind of almost like trembling a little bit, but that just means it is actually nice and relaxed. So it will be kind of hard to see there, but where I am standing, that's what he's doing. So, and if I feel that he's walking too fast, I can just, you know, kind of just give a little pull back and kind of get him to slow down a little bit, and then you have to release again. But the thing that you have to be very careful with is that you also speak before you give pressure and release, and you don't click either, because if I don't speak, if I don't say walk on or whoa, give pressure and release, he'll think, well, hang on a minute, what are you asking me to do here? Because I'll be using the exact same thing for each aid. So again, you have to be very specific and consistent, and he's very relaxed, which is exactly what I want him to be. And another thing is that it hasn't happened yet, but if I stop Jelly, make him stop, well, I'll make him stop, Joe, just for a minute then. Joe? And whoa. See, he stopped quite nicely there. And what happens is, if, I don't know if he will, but if he walks on without him asking me to, then I will have to step him back. So if he steps back if he walks on 2 steps, I have to step him back 2 steps so that he learns that he needs to stop where I asked him to. And same if he walks on without me asking him to, 1 or whatever it may be. But he's actually, I see now, there we go. So I step him back and I'll give him her reward. And if he keeps walking when I'm asking him to, I just have to keep doing that until he learns that he only walks on when I tell him to. But he's actually been very good now, and I'm teasing him a bit with the grass about that. See, there we go again. He walks on without me asking him to. But another thing you have to be quite careful with is that, you know, if sometimes he might be actually doing what he's told, and I might be giving very light pressure without realising, which will make him walk on. So you have to be very aware of what you're doing yourself, because he could be doing what he's told without me realising. He might be actually listening to what I'm doing, you know, putting pressure on. So you have to be very careful of what you're doing too, so that you're rewarding him when he deserves it, and that you're not, you know, telling him off for something that he actually didn't do. If I actually put pressure on without realising, and then making him step back, because eventually horses are very observant. Eventually you'll think, well, you gave pressure, I walked on, and now you're stepping me back. So you have to be so careful with how you work with horses, because they can pick up on anything really. I mean, he's been very, very good, and he's got a nice pace in the walk, and he's listening to me now, which is exactly what I wanted. And now I'm bringing him into the field here, so he'll be very happy about that. Do I let him go now, yeah? Thank you, Jelly. Good boy. Off you go. Thank you.